Another trip to the Goodwill bins, starting out with a book bin here as I walked in. Usually don't see these out on the main floor, but we get a lot of good stuff in this one. And I sell most of the stuff on Whatnot or District, 2 live selling platforms. If you want to follow me on there or haven't signed up, you get free money to spend on both of them with a link down in the description. The first thing that caught my eye here though was this sled. I recently saw in a video of someone talking about good thrift finds, a certain brand of sled. That wasn't it, so I did pass on that. But then we got another like toy bin here and found this plush pretty soon off the bat. 3-headed dog plush I thought was interesting with the tags. Good Whatnot item if it's not worth much on eBay. Then we saw a Super Mario Bros. I believe it was a Nintendo 3DS or maybe a Wii case, but it was insanely dirty. And then this caught my eye. It's like a little travel high seat thing, but it was new with the instructions still on there. So I did put it in my bag. Later, I took it out and put it back. And then we got this battery charger, and it was new in the package, and it had a barcode on the bottom. So I always throw things with barcodes in my bag if it's somewhat interesting, and because you can scan them on eBay and find the price. Here's another one, Little Miss Sunshine plush, new with tags as well. So threw that in my bag. Good Whatnot item again if it's not worth much on eBay. Here we found a McDonald's like new sealed, I'm guessing toy, and I was correct. I could see on the back it had some recognizable characters that you could get in there. I opened it up, found 2 characters that I didn't know who they were, so ended up just throwing that back. If it was some recognizable characters, I probably would have took a chance on it because it was so light. Here I thought I found a Lululemon shoulder strap bag, but it was not, just an off-brand. But I did pick up this Benny the Bull plush, the mascot for the Chicago Bulls. Not a bad pickup. And then here is a Mexican Federation football national team hat, and you can see the logo changed as you shifted it up and down. I don't know what that is worth. I listed it for $30 on eBay. Maybe if it gets no views, no hits, could be another Whatnot item, but I couldn't find anyone exactly like that. Then I found this hat, and in the moment I didn't know what it was, but I did find out later it is for saunas, those wool caps you wear in the sauna so your head doesn't get too hot. And it was a Viking one with horns. Some of them sell pretty good from the brand. I think it was a Hulsa or something. I'll put up some comps here. This dragon thing, I thought it was like a game piece from, one of those board games like Warcraft, or I don't even know what those, board games that people play. I threw it in my bag, looked it up later. I don't know what it was, but it just wasn't really worth anything. And then this little bag looked interesting, but no brand or anything. Looked at a couple more bags as well here. Then this microphone, which actually I'm recording this right now on the microphone that I picked up at the bin, so let me know how it sounds. I think it's a pretty solid microphone. What is the brand here? HyperX something. So yeah, let's see if the sound's any good on this, but probably cost me $2-3 because it's pretty heavy. Now we are in the media bins that are off the side, and we actually find a lot of stuff here. So I'm looking for weird things, horror movies, series, like cartoon series. Mostly, those are usually what I found that's worth the most stuff. Video games as well. Here's a Monopoly game for the PC. I did sell that already on Whatnot. And we do pick up a good amount of video games here as well. They're easy to look up too because you can just scan anything here. Downton Abbey complete, I think it was season 1 and 2. I thought could be interesting, but I don't think it was worth it. This was really good. I wish I got it more on camera. I forgot the name of the game, but I listed it for $50 on eBay. There was none sold and none listed on eBay, but ChatGPT told me the game with the disc alone is worth $40 to $60. So pretty good find, maybe the best find of the day. We'll see if that sells on eBay. It might take a while to sell. Here we got the complete series of some children's cartoon. I did pick that up, and here we got a National Geographic, but it was in like Chinese or something. So, thought you could at least scan it, see if it's worth anything. And I don't think I ended up picking that up. Most of these things here that I'm grabbing, Stephen King, a movie that I had never heard of from him, picked that up. Most of these things I scanned and put back. Here's a PS2 game, Drag Racing. I did pick that up, already sold it on a live stream. And I do get more video games here. Here's another helicopter PC game. Again, picked that up, sold it on a live stream already. So, doing pretty good with some video game pickups here that sold the next day on my live stream. And you guys can follow me there as well. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, if you like these kind of videos. Here's, horror movies sometimes do extremely well. Now we're back. Fresh bins. They bring out new bins every 20-30 minutes. That was Sven from Frozen. I didn't pick it up. It was really big. I saw it like 30 seconds later. Some guy was really excited to get that as well. Here was interesting. A bag of toys. And, man, you didn't really get a good look at either of those. But you saw I picked up a Charmander and then a Bulbasaur. They're from Mega Bloks. And I did sell those already on a live stream. I think they went for like $2-3 each, random separately. So, decent for something really light, they're like Lego weight, so just a couple ounces each probably. And I was just here picking up, scrounging for pieces. I actually found the fire pieces that come out of Charmander's mouth, scrounging around. But watch out for stuff like that big mug glass. I actually cut myself on a piece of glass a week or two ago at Goodwill bins, so you gotta be careful in there. A lot of people wear gloves too. This could be recommended. Yeah, even more. So like some leaf pieces. I think some of those went on the Bulbasaur. I ended up picking up a couple of those leaf pieces, and this little bear, extremely light, so picked it up. Could do well on whatnot. Some of these Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse ears do really well if they're like branded. Here's another little bag of plush I found. Dumped it out. I didn't really see anything except for 4 Ninja Turtles, but they're like little balls. Thought about picking up all 4 of them and bundling them together, but ended up not doing that. Those broken mugs, gotta be careful of those, and broken glasses. Here back in the media section, some of these weird like skate videos like that one do pretty well. So I did pick that up. I don't remember if I ended up getting it or not. Back in some toy bins. Always like looking through toys, plush bins, bags, hats. This is the stuff I'm primarily picking up here. I did get a couple, actually 3 really nice clothing items, and I barely even ever look in the clothing bins, so I didn't even record it, but at the end I'll show you the 3 pieces that I got out of there. They could be some of the best finds of the day, honestly. Here is a lighter, little long neck Bic lighter. Picked that up for personal use, so 2 personal use items. This mic I'm talking, and that lighter. Everything else is for sale, either eBay or live streaming. More plush toy bins here, some golf clubs in here. Alright, the next bin, really interesting pickups. Man, I didn't get these on camera very well, but I found 3 visors. Actually, maybe that was the one I didn't pick up, but I at least picked up 2 visors, and they were like vintage PGA or LPGA visors. Here you can kind of see one, but they're like autographed by, I'm guessing some fan went to one of the tournaments and got them autographed by a ton of people. Honestly, might make them worth less at this point because I can't even read the signatures on there, but kind of an interesting eBay item. Here's these 6 pins. It was interesting because you turn it over and it says $24.99 on it. So apparently someone paid that much for those 6 pins, but new in the package. I picked them up, metal pins. They're really light and, good sell on a live streaming platform if they're not worth anything on eBay. And here I found some Pokemon cards, and rewatching the footage, I don't know if I got the shot, but there was this kid, like high school age kid probably, that I saw him looking through some Pokemon cards. I don't know if he found them all together or collectively, and then he just like tossed them in the bin and walked away. And I walked up after him, and here I found another Pokemon card, and there was a few holos in there. A holo Flareon, probably the best one. So, always take Pokemon cards. Always pick up USB as well, just because I think it's kind of interesting. If you plug them in and you can see what's on it, hopefully, 100 Bitcoin on that one. Here's a Nutcracker thing. Looked it up, was not worth anything, even though it felt like pretty high quality. Back in another toy bin. Really have to dig through some of these bins to get down to the bottom. Sometimes the bottom has the best stuff. Here's another visor, and that was another autographed one. Vintage, probably 90s visor from some golf tournament. And then this bear, I picked it up with the basketball in his hand, and it had a Nua tag. So always pick up plush Nua tags if it's a little interesting. But the main thing I wanted to show that I didn't get on camera is these shirts. So 2 shirts, this Reno vintage one and a Betty Boop one. I'll probably just put up images. I didn't even show me going into the clothes bins because I usually don't, so I didn't even record it. And then this jersey is pretty sick. 30 Panthers. I don't know, but I looked up his brand, Spangian, sells pretty well. So those are probably the best pickups of the day. All right, here's the haul of stuff from the video. 14 bucks rounded up. You guys can see, I think, hopefully I got everything on camera. These are crazy, like autographed vintage PGA, LPGA visors. This hat was pretty cool. That changes. I don't know what to do with that. And the video games we ended up actually getting, we didn't get any DVDs. This one could be really good. We'll see. And then that one, some good looking plush as well. We didn't really get a great look at the Pokemon cards, but some good ones in there. Flareon, a couple other holos or reverse holos. And these, I don't think are Lego. They're like Mega Blocks, or at least one of them is Mega Blocks. And I realized that this is a sauna hat. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, subscribe to the channel. We'll catch you in another.